All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your commentator X Wendy. Welcome to round 7 of the Mario's Hard Espresso series, brought to you by Mario's Hard Espresso and the VRA at Hakone. I'm your commentator X Wendy here, and I'm joined by co-commentator Keith the Jones 430. How you doing, my man?
Konnichiwa, Wendy. How are you doing in this Japanese sunset?
I am doing fantastic. It's been a little bit cold as of recent. I will not put it past
In Japan?
Japan. It's extremely cold.
Nice. What oh, sorry, 1 second. What have you ran any laps around Hakone?
I was able to take a few test passes in the two-seater car that we have personally rented for the track. Most of these drivers are running anywhere from the 58s, the low 58s to 1 minute. Just in that 1 minute range. That's what we are expecting for the whole race.
And we've got our qualifying times up right now. Looks like Mullet taking us up front.
Yeah, Mullet taking the top spot, jumping in second, Mikey third, Gav fourth, Shoplifting rounding out the top 5. Mikey and Gav in a really good spot, jumping in the best spot right now out of everybody.
So I wasn't able to see any of qualifying. What are some of the things that you think we're going to wind up expecting here today?
Well, we were talking with some of the drivers pre-race in the practice session. A lot of drivers were wanting to not put down a qualifying time to start in the back, so they, actually had a chance to make it through turn 1 and 2.
All right. Well, I figured this is a perfect time to bring in our sponsor, Mario's. Use code VRA10 at drinkmarios.com to get 10% off your next Mario's purchase. Mario's Hard Espresso, the official hard espresso of Bascar VRA. A couple of weeks ago, I had the absolute privilege of being able to party with the owners over there at Mario's, and I'll tell you, they are an absolute hoot. Every time that they show up, there are 5 bottles of Mario's that show up with them, and there is not a single person that walks away not having a fantastic time.
Oh my goodness, you dirty dog. Well, we're just about ready to go green here. You see the list. Just a few of our notable names that we're watching out for today. We are watching for Jump in the Fire 88. Currently 5th in point standings, needing either a top 3 or the win tonight. Other notable names we are going to include here are Mikey, currently 3rd, tied with Rick for 3rd in points, needing a top 3 to stay in it. That would be Gavinator in the 56 on that second row, needing a top 5 to stay in contention. Supwitted Andy, currently 1 point. I repeat, 1 singular point behind our points leader Canes, who is also on our watch list. We are going green at Japan.
Green. Giggity, 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 boys. Let's go racing.
Mullet, one of our new drivers, taking a very early lead. Jumping, taking that second spot. Mikey right behind him. Now, some other people to watch. Rick, currently tied with Mikey for 3rd in points. We have to be careful here with these top 5 drivers. It's been a nightmare chase. Oh, man. I tell you what, Indy was a sight to behold. We had 1 singular caution the entire time.
Indy was quite a show of prowess and just showed how much we've really elevated as a league. I mean, to get that far through that race with going 2 and 3 wide into the corners, I mean, tell me you weren't impressed.
I was very impressed. Another thing that we should be really impressed about, we have not had a single penalty come through our marshals over the last month.
Huh.
Something to think about there. We've had a lot of growth with some of our new drivers. We've had some old drivers kind of take them under their wing and kind of show them around and whatnot. But definitely have seen a large improvement.
Nice. I'm not seeing anything crazy happening on the track right now. Everybody's being super clean, blasting around this beautifully lit up night cherry blossom track, and I think we're in for some good racing this evening.
Absolutely. We have got to watch all of our, obviously our top 5. That's who we really need to watch, but definitely need to watch everybody today, because this is the only road course we're going to have.
Speaking of top 5, what is our current lineup?
So current top 5 right now is Mullet the leader. He's led all the laps this race. Jumping just now, going on the outside of him. Is he going to be able to hold on? Neck and neck with Mullet going into turn 1. He's going to take it wide. Gets a little bit loose, Mullet there. All right, we're just getting heated battles at the start of this race already. But going back to that top 5, as we have said, Mullet is the leader. Currently 2/10 up on Jumpin', for 5th in points. 3rd is Mikey, currently tied for 3rd in points. Gav, rounding out the top 10, needs to be in that top 5 for the rest of this race in order to probably stay alive for the rest of the series. And then rounding out our top 5 is Crip, who's currently out of the point standings, but looking to, make his comeback with a win today. See, we're on board. Let's go back to that on board of the 56. That's Gavinator. Currently 3/10 off Mikey, but in the draft, so technically he's right on the back of his bumper. I would not be surprised if Gav tries to go for a move at some point. You do see the first full lead change. Jumping fully takes over Mullet coming out of the turns. Some other people that we were talking about pre-race would be the 11 of Rick, currently P9. Was talking to him about Cup Series and whatnot for other leagues. And he has fully told us with confidence that this is the last road course he will ever race in VRA.
I overheard him talking about that. It's funny. Rick also mentioned the fact that he's won 3 races in the past 9 months within the league. And they've all 3 been at Sunset Peninsula.
I mean, his most recent one was at Sunset. I mean, he's
not lying.
a god at ovals. I just don't understand why, he gets so unlucky with these road courses. I cannot believe it. But another person we were talking to and is also retiring from road courses, but I don't know if he was joking or not, that would be Skins in the 14. That man has gotten shitted on so many times for road courses. I could not tell you how many times.
He's back there with shoplifting right now, cutting it up.
Absolutely. Trying to find a spot around shoplifting. Shoplifting is known, especially in this series, for running, a bit of a weird tire strategy that, some would call unorthodox. As you can see, he's on that hard tire, the Mario's hard tire. We were talking to him before. He does think that he might be able to do a one-stop strategy.
Oh my goodness. Is a one-stop possible at Hakone? I mean, I haven't got to spend any time here.
Oh, in the bottom left, the 14 just about clipped him. Just about spun him going into... just about coming out of turn 3. Not where you want to spin somebody. And see there, he's given up another spot. That's Juggernauts, one of our new drivers. But going back to our tire strategy, we were talking with some of our tuners here. The soft tire, they do believe could be stretched to 15 laps. The medium to around 20 to 22, and the hard way past that. So I do believe it is possible to do a one stop. The question is, how long will you have to stay out and lose even more time to the leaders? To be honest with you, Keith, I haven't seen a whole lot of position changes. Everybody's sort of settled down. This is usually how our road course racing goes.
I, too, have not seen a lot. I mean, there was one interaction that happened. I didn't catch who it was that somebody questioned. Oh, PVT Juggernaut cutting the course coming into one. I meant to interject super early on, but this is the first time in this series that we're turning right.
Yeah, absolutely. Not something most of these drivers are used to, especially our new guys. Only have been in these races maybe once or twice. Not something that tuning is well available for. We'll put it that way.
No,
for these cars,
a lot of learning that needs to take place. Right now, we're topping out at around 58 seconds for lap times right now. I'm really curious what is actually in it right now.
What do you mean by that? Like,
I'm curious what we have, what's actually available at the track at night, right? Because the limit that we've been able to achieve at this point is 58 seconds. You've got to wonder, is there a 57.9 in it tonight?
Well, we were in that practice session, and our qualifying times did kind of display that. Not the typical lap times we were experiencing, but we did see a 58-1 from Mr. Jumping in the Fire, who's currently leading the race. Also, some other notable names to mention, that would be Mikey Gav and Sup With It Andy. Those drivers were also in the 58 lows, in the 58 2s, 58 1s. So I do believe if you could get a decent enough tow coming off the back stretch and then going into the front stretch, you potentially could get that 57 time. But it would take a lot of teamwork between the drivers.
Have you got to spend any time on Hakone with these cars?
I have. I will say that my times are not as fast as some of these guys, obviously, because these guys are insane.
What are some of the things that you were struggling with? Like, what were some of the pieces of track that were tough to navigate?
Definitely coming out of turn 2. You see Mikey coming out of turn 2 there, handling it perfectly. That's one spot to watch, and also the turn coming up, turn 3. Definitely not the, as you can see there. These drivers are able to cut that track.
We are under caution. I didn't catch who it was or what happened.
Under caution, 14 laps down. We did see Mullet hit. He did have decent enough strategy. I think he's on the soft.
You know, I want to take a second to point out Jumpin, because before this caution, he had a 10-second lead. I mean, I haven't seen a 10-second lead in the Mario series to this experience. I mean, like, there was whenever Rick was dominating, whenever he, Andy, and Jump were running around Sunset, just, I mean, taking off, they only developed a 3 to 5 second lead. Jump in the Fire had 15 laps and developed 10 seconds. I think we're gonna have to take a little bit of time to watch what he's got going. I do see that he's on softs. Let's see what everybody else is on. We've got Gavin on mediums, Eucane's on mediums, Billy's on softs. Billy ran a 59.
My.
And
look at that right front on Billy.
It is what right front?
Billy's right front tire. That right front tire is gone.
Why don't we bring Jump in and see what he has to say, what we've got going, because he clearly knows something that we don't. I'm really curious if it's just the soft tire or if he has a couple of tricks. Jump, can you hear us?
I got you.
Fantastic. So you ran softs on that and developed a 10-second lead. What are you doing? What brought you to that point?
Just did some math, and I think softs are going to be the dominant tire for the
Interesting
race tonight.
Well, I mean, it clearly took you out way in the lead in this first stint. How many more laps did you have that you could have held on to those softs?
I was actually coming in this lap, so this
oh man! So the timing just worked out.
Yeah.
Wow. So is currently what you're thinking? You're going to hold on to these softs for the rest of the race, or do you have a mixed match strategy going?
That's still up in the air right now. I'm not entirely sure yet.
All right.
Gonna see how long they can last. Cautions, any more cautions?
Of course. You've currently ran a 58.27. Do you think you've got a 57.9 in you tonight?
Ooh, that's gonna be tough.
All right.
Yeah, nobody ran that in practice. I don't think that's gonna be seen. If it is, it's gonna be a dirty lap.
Wins, do you have anything to add?
The fighting up front with you and Mullet during the early laps, that was some great racing there. Wish you the best of luck, man. You've been doing a hell of a job today.
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic. Getting ready to go green. Thanks, Jump. Coming to the line. Restart zone is underneath the bridge, so not at the start-finish line. And we're green.
Shoplifting, a big bounce coming into turn 1.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Man, there is a lot happening right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Jumping, wanting to get back up there. Mullet has already fallen off. Back into P3. Gav takes his lead of the race finally.
Gavinator out front, man. That's something that I'm not used to seeing. Congratulations on him. He's on softs. Okay, you know what? Let's take a second and go through the field. Let's see what everybody's thinking here. So we've got Shoplifting again on hards. He didn't pit.
He didn't pit. I told you, man, he's gonna stick to the one stop.
What is he thinking? He's done the math. He's done the math. He's giving up positions
a tire
right now.
saver.
Okay, all right. That's where he's at. PVT is running the mediums. NASCAR Baby on the mediums. Rick's on the mediums. Skins is on the mediums. Pancakes on the mediums. Hawk went with softs. He's back in 12th right now, battling with Skins.
Yes, but also,
somebody's losing.
Shoplifting's
loose in front of him. Is Shoplifting going to be able to hold on to this car for the entire race? Or is he going to be the cause of all the cautions?
I do want to take a look at Hawk for a second. Notice his fuel level. He's not going to have to refuel for the rest of this race.
That has to have been a mistake. Let's hear what he's thinking. Let's bring Hawk in. Let's see what's going on here. He's got a great battle happening with Skins right now that he finally just got in front of him.
All right. Hawk, this is Wendy Keith in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy.
You took full fuel that last pit stop, huh?
Yeah. I did to start the race. I took it again.
Interesting. We were just commenting about the fact that you are the only one who will not have to stop for fuel in the field.
Yeah, it'll be close. I don't think I'm going to make it on tires.
No, you're definitely not.
But that caution was pretty nasty. I don't know. I just hit the inside rumbles and hit the brakes, and it just sent my car around in front of Penji.
Which tires were you on?
I started on mediums.
So what do you think you're going to do moving forward? Apparently the mediums were a little not enough on the rumble strips. Are the softs getting there, or are you thinking that you're going to have to change up what you were initially going to do for today?
I don't know. I kind of want to just try to stay with the pack. I'm not sure what everyone else is running, but I did not like how it went on mediums, so I think I might just tough it out on softs the rest of the night.
Oof. Oh, man. Who are you tussling with right now? I think we need to leave Hawk to it. He's in the middle of quite a pack there.
If we're able to, up to battle for third, that's Jumpin', Mikey, and NASCAR Baby. Jumpin' barely holding on here. Mikey's gonna grab the toe. You can see the chaos behind them. It's just a straight line. But going back to these tire strategies and this these lines that these drivers are going on. They're making it seem like this is Watkins Glen 2.0.
You know, it makes a lot of sense. Similar speeds, similar corner speeds. So, I get it.
It will have around the same top speed as Glen on that back stretch, but the cornering is more tight on this track than Glen, which does pose some kind of challenge for these drivers because they've never had to deal with these tight corners before.
It's true, and they've also never had to deal with the right corner before.
Exactly.
That's a big question.
But even then, we only have 2 right corners on this track, and it's going into the S, and then
the little kink, yeah.
Yeah, the little kink on the back.
Well, again, you know, I mean, we're back into the racing, and everything feels almost like the calm before the storm. I can't quite figure out what it is. Shoplifting, I feel like, is the biggest wrench in the current setup because he didn't pit. He's running that hard tire strategy, and I don't know how it's going to play out for him. He keeps getting shuffled to the back. Right now he's back here in 15th. I don't know how I feel about it.
I mean, enough cutoff to swap tires.
It's a good thing there's not penalties. I mean, heavens.
Yeah, absolutely. If we ran penalties on this track, we would have people disqualified on lap 4. So many cutting. So much cutting.
This reminds me of 2020 whenever they couldn't have enough track marshals to be able to enforce the track limits at Spa. Did you ever see those races?
Oh, yeah. Oh, tell me about a nightmare, Keith. That was god-awful.
I feel like shoplifting is like, you know what, I'm going to run the harder tire so that it lasts longer, and I'm just going to use the entire track so that I can keep up with everybody else.
Absolutely. But that is going to weigh into his, decision making a little bit. Obviously he's not going to, he's going for the one stop. We know this for right now. He will only refuel once, and it will barely be a refuel. But the hard tire still not gone to the minor tire wear, which is very surprising.
And oh wow, he's actually jumping over PVT there. What's going on with PVT?
I don't know.
PVT's on the mediums. What? Shoplifting is down into minor tire wear on these hards, and
it may be that the grip has finally decided to set in and shoplifting has found the groove that he needs to run.
He just overtook Aluminum Pancake.
What is going on? I don't believe this. Oh, there he goes.
That's what it is. That's what's happening. Again, he's using the entire track, basically, like, he's using the entire country to be able to make these turns. Japan.
He went straight to Tokyo and back.
Oh, man.
You can see him. He is struggling. You can see Pancake taking the inside line. Oh, my. Up the mullet cam if we can.
Mullet, that's gonna be you. Actually, here, one second.
If we can bring up Mullet, he is taken
Yeah.
back over Gavinator. He's put a second on him, and last I saw that Gav was up a second on him, so something has, shifted in strategy at some point during this race.
Yeah, I mean, Jumpin is not being nearly as dominant in this second stint as he was in the first stint. I see we've got Gavinator up, and it appears that he has soft tires that he's running.
Yes, but also we do have a window for him. He is bound to the pit lane in 5 laps at least, if not 4. He started 9th, crawled back to 3rd spot, able to bring himself within a second of Gav, but also he's put, I can't believe it. He's put 6 seconds on Mikey.
Oh, and Mullet goes into the pits. Let's bring Mullet in. Let's see what he's got going on.
Let's bring him in. Mullet, this is Wind and Keith in the booth. How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty solid right now.
We're wondering how your tire strategy is going so far during the race.
It's going according to plan. Trying to soft to medium for the end of the race.
That's what I expected most of these drivers to do.
Yeah, in practice I was testing it. Felt really, really good, and like it was a strategy to go, especially after getting the pole.
Does seem like the optimal strategy to do soft medium, but we've been noticing some stragglers, mainly one in the name of shoplifting, going with a one-stop strategy, hard to hard tire. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, with this track being at night, the temperature isn't there to run hards because it takes probably about 4 laps to get the hards up to speed once you get them warmed up. And to me, that's a total of like 8 laps of just trying to warm their tires up to get them to optimal temp. And just didn't seem like it was worth it. Although the pit road here is a good sized pit road, I don't think it's worth it to go hard to hard.
Interesting. Well, we wish you the best of luck. You're actually going to have to contend with Shoplifting's Hards here in about a second. It looks like as soon as you can, as soon as you can close that gap. Just so you know, Shoplifting is using all of the track. Track limits don't exist to him.
Yeah, I've been doing the similar. So.
Word.
We'll wish you the best of luck and have a good race out there.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, we do. We are gonna stay on board with Mullet. We are gonna watch him battle shoplifting. We're gonna see how long it takes him. He's a second back.
He's closing him.
Catch him in turn 2.
Let's see what Shoplifting's got going on real quick here.
He's got the speed.
How much tire does he have left here?
The back left is
they're
still
done.
at Meyer,
They're done.
and there he goes. He's in the wall. I mean, we were talking about it for so long, we might as well have just jinxed him.
Yeah.
But Mullet having absolutely no problem going through the hard tire strategy of shoplifting.
Facts. Well, let's jump back up to the top of the board here. We've got first Gavinator, second Jump in the Fire, only half a second behind, and then Mikey drawn up quite a third there. What's going on with Mikey? Why do you think we're losing so much time with him?
He could just be on the medium tire. I do believe that is the problem. Yeah, you can see he is on worn down mediums. Not currently minor tire wear yet, but jumping definitely. As you can see, Gav.
There is a battle happening back here at the back where Mullet's trying to push Aluminum Pancake basically through the wall so that he can get around him. We might see a caution.
Pancake gonna grab
Mullet
the toe.
cutting, or not Mullet, but Pancake cutting through the line, trying to get. Oh. Well, let's go back to the front.
Yeah, we got Mikey still on his hard tire. Just going on the backstretch, going into the S.
Oh, and it looks like Gav went in for the pits, so that means Jumpin's not far behind him. It's interesting. Mullet was the least long with the tires. He apparently Jumpin has been able to make these softs last the longest.
Yeah, currently, they are gone. They are 100% gone. He could be going triple.
Let's see what lap time he runs here. How far is he off his fastest of 58.2?
Oh, I'd assume he's quite a bit off. We'll see. We might see his split. Yeah, 6/10.
You say that, but at the same point in time, I mean, he's not losing very much time to Mikey at all. I mean, when we started this lap, he was at 7.6, and he's only down to 7.1 right now. I mean, there's something to be said about what he's doing with these softs at this wear level.
Yeah, not the largest time loss we've seen, as he goes down to just under the 7-second mark. I would expect him to pit at some point. It might be this lap.
What's his split down to now? Yeah, he's got a pit, right? Yeah.
There he goes.
Which tells us that our next leader
will be
gonna be Mikey.
48. We are getting word. I do have from report Blaze Reaper, who is currently out of the points, gets more engine damage. That's got to be unfortunate for him. Not what he wanted to show today. It gotta be bad for him today, man.
Him and Uranus, man.
Uranus not able to make it out of the garage, I was being told. Again, currently, Uranus was in point contention, but unfortunately was not able to get out of the garage. That's got to be unfortunate for him.
So unfortunate.
Oh, hey, go to Shoplifting's camera. The number 2 of Shoplifting is into pit.
He's
after
taking his
34 laps.
Interesting. He went more than half the race on those hards.
It could be a hard medium strategy. He could.
I didn't see
the mediums go on the faster tire.
Speaking of pitting, our leader right behind him, coming out of the pits.
Mikey, do you also see Crip in that 3rd spot going into pit as well? Haynes follows him behind him. We're gonna see Jumpin go right back up to the lead, but first, somebody we haven't seen up in the 1st spot all day, that would be the 11 of
That
Rick.
would be Mr. Retired.
Mr. Retired, the man who says he would never race a road course again after Watkins Glen being the worst race he had ever run.
I mean, it looks like he's going to be trying to pit here pretty quick too. He's held on to it. Does the math work out? Is he getting his cycle in where he's going to be able to extend this out for the next, what is it, 17 laps?
Yeah, just about. I do think
let's bring Rick
there
in.
he goes now.
Let's hear what Rick's thinking here.
Yeah, let's bring him in here. Rick, this is Keith in the booth. How are you doing, my man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Well, you being a retired road course racer, as after this race, You were in the lead for a lap.
It's just pit strategy. It's the middle of the pits. I was trying to get on end on soft. So
Were you able to make it? Are you in your soft window?
I am, yes.
Oh man. So let's see. Gav is 17 seconds ahead of you, but I mean theoretically Gav has to pit.
Ooh! I just got on the back of Billy. Yeah. I think right before you pulled me, they called a caution. So I think we're racing the line right now.
I'm
not sure. It looks like they're
well. I cannot.
not
figure
100%.
Yeah. We are under caution. Glad that you called us out on that.
Yeah.
How is that?
Glad you got your pit strategy in
I
that.
think this is gonna help. This is gonna help for sure.
It's going to absolutely help the 11. Well, we appreciate your time. We'll let you get back to getting on top of the podium.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Rick.
Well, again, a perfect pit strategy by one of the drivers. Jumpin having his perfect pit stop for his soft window, and now Rick having a perfect.
Let's see who all is going to dive into the pits. So it looks like shoplifting, aluminum, skins, Gav, Mikey, Mean Billie Jean. I'm really surprised how few people actually pit. I thought Jump in the Fire might actually take it, but he instead stayed out for that track position. Is he going to be able to hold off that 11 of Rick with the tires that he has on?
Let's take a look at his strategy. Yeah, he's got it. He's 100% got it. Those are fresh softs. He's 100% in the window. One car I do want to check is that 33.
Wait a second. Yeah, I was just about to say we've got the dream team up front again. This is about to get really interesting.
Yeah, Rick back up into third, but that 33 of Andy, that good wrench car. I want to see his tires, if we're able to.
Mediums.
He's gonna stay to the end. This will be a insane battle as we come back to the line. Green. We are green.
Oh!
A lot of people going wide, turn one.
We got a caution call.
Oh my goodness.
That took out half the field.
That absolutely did. That took out oh man. I do believe Mikey involved, Juggernaut's involved.
I mean, NASCAR is out.
NASCAR is out. Trying to get the wheels back up. Not doing not doing the greatest burnout we've seen.
It's like he's celebrating the victory, back here at the very end of the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Jump In takes us to the line. Is he going to pit now that he's had the opportunity to think about it?
I don't think he will. He's got the soft strategy. He's had caution laps to kind of extend those soft tires just the slightest bit to where I don't think he will be on moderate tire wear by the end of this race.
Kane's up in fourth.
Oh, baby. So the only odd man out is the 48 of Mikey, sitting in 13th.
Oh, wow.
Currently third, tied with Rick in points, not where he wants to end up. You gotta think if he does not do well for the last 13 laps of this race, he could be out of the championship entirely.
Absolutely. But you can see that he is one of the people that pit on the last caution, which means that he's got some fresh rubber under him. Even though he's back in 13th, he's just got to He just gotta stick with it, and he's going to have better rubber than Jumpin. He's already got better rubber than Andy. I mean, he could bring this back.
Yes, but also he does have to worry about traffic. Now, traffic hasn't been too big of a problem for our drivers, but definitely
Pits are
something to
open.
watch out for.
Who's diving in?
We're going to see
Nobody.
the people in the back.
Oh, yeah, we got Outlaw. We got NASCAR, baby. I mean, after sitting on the wall that long, I probably would have pit myself. Let's jump in with NASCAR and let's see what he's got going on. Let's see what happened, why we saw him sitting on the side of the road, almost eating a Taco Bell burrito.
Yeah, NASCAR. This is Wyndon Keith in the booth. We wanted to get your side of the story on your tragic spin out on the exit of turn 2. How do you what happened there?
I don't know. I got ran over.
What turn were you in? What did you get hit from the rear? I mean, we weren't able to see it.
I got absolutely punted.
Ah,
I think Skins just missed his braking point and just ran me over.
got it.
He admitted the fault right after, and he said that'll be a penalty on himself, so he admitted to it.
Oh man, got it. That's unfortunate. Well, you've got some fresh softs under you, which is more than we can say for other people. So get ready to get her done, man.
Sounds good. I'll try to put on a show.
Fantastic. And we are coming back up to the line. And we're back to green.
Problem by turn 3. You do see Canes. Oh man, that turn 1 is scary.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of who it's scary for right now.
Everybody behind shoplifting. Gav getting a
Oh,
little
wow.
contact.
Oh,
Billy
wow.
going wide. Four wide down the backstretch. Skins,
Mikey yields
Gavin, Billy
just to be able to stay in
backing
it.
out of it. We have some sissy drivers who won't do 4 wide.
Skin seems to be really struggling with something here.
I could not tell you. He's been on the struggle bus with Rick for basically the entire race up until just now.
Well, I mean, with all this action happening in the back, I mean, we don't even know what's going on with the leaders.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a 1.1 second lead to Jumpin'. Now, Andy on that medium tire will have more, per se, grip, but Jumpin' will pull out an insane amount before Andy even gets close to him. See Gav in the bottom right, just taking over, shoplifting in that number 2, and just about to go around the points leader, Canes, going out of turn 7, managing to stay on the inside of the lines.
I want to take a second and point out shoplifting here, running in 7th on the medium tires. He's now put himself, into a position of being able to possibly get a top 5.
I do believe he could, but Gav currently just hit the second mark on him. It would have to take probably the biggest miracle or either a caution so he can swap the swaths. Swap the swaths? What am I saying? Swap to the softs. Man, my speaking is so bad today, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
It's all right. We'll forgive you. You've just been having a couple too many Mario's Hard Espressos.
Absolutely. I've been.
With that, we'll go ahead and take a second to talk about our lovely friends over at Mario's again. Just a reminder, if you use code VRA10, you can get 10% off your next experience of caffeine and happiness.
That's right. Use code VRA10 at drinkmarios.com. That is code VRA10 at drinkmarios.com. I hope y'all can spell that on the internet, because that's super easy to do.
And you're dyslexic.
We appreciate the support from them. They are a great company to sponsor us, and we appreciate y'all very much. VRA10 at drinkmarios.com. As we go back to strategy, jumping, currently just about 3 seconds up on second place, which is Rick.
Craziness.
Oh, but somebody I want to bring up, Mikey, who's in 13th to start this cycle of pits, is now up into the top 6.
Wow. Mikey's got something figured out here. We've got a number of people here who are running wheels, a number of people who are running controllers. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mikey is a wheel player, correct?
I do believe, yes, he is a wheel player.
It's interesting. We were talking about it the other day, and he's one of the people that runs normal steering versus the sim steering. And there's one other person that I am aware that also does that, who's been a little successful this evening, and that's Rick. So I'm really curious if that has anything to do with, if there's any sort of an advantage at these road courses with that.
I could not tell you personally. I do not run a wheel, so I do not know personally how these drivers operate these persistently. I know on my controller setup that I run normal steering. I have heard of people using simulation steering on controller, and they have not lived to tell the tale. Simulation is a whole different ball game from normal steering.
That's absolutely true. You get quick snapback. You have to be really precise with your inputs, which is just not something that you're really able to do without it.
Absolutely.
Man.
These controller players, jumping, being our controller player of the century at this point.
It looks like there might be a battle happening between Jumpin' and Mullet.
Yes, a battle that is 4.4 seconds ahead.
I am completely and totally wrong. I completely misread the board on that one. Jumpin's over here dominating.
What would be the battle would be the battle for second between Mullet and Rick, but also not too far behind them is Andy and Gav, all within a second of each other. Andy, unfortunately, getting caught up in the medium pit cycle. He did not want that to happen. We're going to see if he's able to last longer and able to not get minor tire wear before Rick can hit that. Rick, obviously, within the soft window, so he should have no problem.
The way that these guys are using the
God.
track limits. Oh, man. Rick almost got
100%.
sent basically to Hiroshima, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Nagasaki and Hiroshima almost got another casualty in the form of Andy going rear end bombing on Rick, and Rick not liking that as he goes for the
man, it's that Gav that gets past him in the craziness?
Open the door for Gavin. What a sequence.
I think we're gonna have a good showing here between Rick and Andy.
Oh, 100%. We are gonna witness a battle. Mullet currently up 1.6 on Gav, but the real battle is the battle for fourth. That's Rick and Andy,
100%.
and Mikey 2 back. He trying to get on the inside. Doesn't quite make it. Rick is cutting all the curb. It's like you would see an F1 car at Spa with Eau Rouge.
It's funny, speaking of F1, I feel like we've got to have our little cover on position 1 and just watch the rest of the race, because Jumpin is out here pretending to be Max Verstappen, just destroying the rest of the field.
You might as well start bringing out the do-do-do-do. Max Verstappen!
Jump in the fire.
You might as well start bringing it out. Currently, five and a half just about seconds up on Mullet. You can see that they are just about out of turn 7 when he is crossing the start-finish line. It's pretty much got this in the bag.
Jumpin is in a different class on this particular track. Nobody holds a candle right now.
Absolutely. Is the only man in the top 10 that is running a controller right now, as far as I am aware, except maybe Rick. Jumpin is far superior on controller than anyone that I have ever seen. As he's just rounding turn 7 now.
Mikey and Andy going at it.
Andy on the medium, Mikey on the softs. Mikey should be able to hold him off. As we see, Jumpin coming back, we are. White flag!
White flag is out on Jump in the Fire.
White flag brought to you by Mario's HARD ESPRESSO. Code VRA10 at drinkmarios.com. White flag brought to you by Mario's. Jumpin just going into turn 3 now. He's got 6 seconds on Mullet.
The question
But
is,
one thing,
who's going to grab that 4th position?
more importantly, who's got the 2nd spot? On the backstretch, Mullet trying to hold off Gavin, and Rick not far behind. All it takes is one mess up. Jumpin has got the win in the bag.
Three-way battle.
Off 7.
Oh, man, Mikey takes Rick out.
Mikey pushes Rick into the wall. Mullet holds off Gav. Mikey takes... Oh, and Mikey gets passed by Andy with the contact with Rick.
The medium tires gave him the opportunity to be able to hold on right there at the end.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
Mikey lost that for both him and Rick.
Rick is not going to like any of what just transpired. Oh my goodness, I could not believe that happened.
I would say let's bring Rick in right now,
screen.
but I don't know that I don't know that we'd be able to
I don't know if he's going to
broadcast.
take too lightly to that. We might have another sports session at this point. But super congratulations to our Hakone winner, and the only road course win on this series goes to the controller player Jumping in the Fire 88 with an outstanding strategy on tires and able to hold off everyone by a 6-second margin at the end. Absolute insane run by him.
100%. Oh man, what to even say to start this? I mean, I'm really blown away how smooth the racing actually went. Being at a road course, I was pretty confident we were going to see a lot more of what we just saw between Mikey and Rick, where it was jockeying for position, but I was completely wrong. Everybody was racing super clean with the exception of Skins, who I think is going to bring penalties back to the series.
Yeah, at least considering one penalty this week. So congratulations, everybody! You ruined the You ruined the 1 month anniversary of no penalties in the Mario's Hard Espresso series. Congratulations, everybody.
Facts.
But
Facts.
one thing I would like to do before we go any further is I'd like to talk about point standing.
All right.
Who has what spot? As predicted by me earlier in the pre-race show, Mr. Jumping in the Fire did get a podium spot. Will definitely be within championship grasp now. Some other notable mentions: Mullet getting a podium finish. Not somebody I had on my radar
No.
for a road course, but definitely proved himself tonight.
Showing that there are surprises abounding.
Now, one thing I would also like to mention, that would be points leader, Canes. Was predicted a top 10, rounds up in 14th. Absolutely not in the position he wants to be in.
100%.
Quad 12th. But absolutely
What is
out
our
of points
fastest lap
contention
of
now.
the race?
Fastest lap of the race would be...
Jumping?
Let me look. I believe that is Jumping with a 58.2.
We
That would
have-
obviously be on the soft tire.
A close runner-up there with... never mind. I thought that was a 58. It's not. Yeah, he pretty much blew
also
everybody
shout
out of the
out
water
to-
with that.
Shout out to Gavinator for having a 1 minute 27 second clean lap time. Appreciate that lap time, buddy. That's how you know everybody was cutting the course today.
Mm-hmm. Really curious
but
who was able to get into 57s
absolutely.
cutting the course.
Absolutely. Some people worth mentioning after this for point standings. Mikey and Rick will be minimal points in between each other after this. Rick might be ahead due to penalties if that call gets called on Mikey for shoving him outwards. Andy will definitely have points lead. Jumping, I expect to be in the top 3. Canes might fully be out.
Dang. I mean, with a 14th place finish, you know, it sucks, but you can't feel
Yeah, absolutely
too bad.
not. When you're the points leader, you definitely don't want to be in a, oh, I'm in 14th. I think this is fine for right now position. If you catch my drift.
100%.
Some notable movers this week. That would be Skins. Hard Charger
Also
by
got Hard
1
Charger,
spot,
yeah.
just outlasting Outlaw by 1 spot. Congratulations to him. I do not believe he set a qualifying time. So,
Well,
great running, Skins. Great run.
between
Cheating
the
system
penalties,
as
yeah, I was
always.
about to say, I was like using everybody else to be able to get that hard charger.
Yeah, absolutely abusing a few of our drivers. Not where you want to stand.
I think we are to the point where we're going to start bringing people in.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in race winner tonight, Mr. Jumping in the Fire. How are you feeling knowing that you are at least guaranteed a top 3 spot in the championship now?
Feels awesome. Feels good to be back in victory lane. Feels good to be just in contention. Yeah, it's awesome.
Absolutely. We did see the tire strategy obviously work out for you in this instance. You know, able to last on the soft tire and able to, you know, kind of manage your pit strategy around it too. How much was the pit strategy a big factor for you as far as today?
Well, the cautions, depending on how the cautions fell, was going to be the strategy, and they fell perfectly. That first one fell right whenever I was getting ready to pit, and then I pit, I knew I could go at least. I didn't want to go more than 16 laps on a set of softs, and I kind of messed up my math, and I was going to pit on lap 32, which would have put at me like almost 19 laps on softs for the last stint. But those last 2 cautions really helped me save probably, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 laps worth of wear, and that helped me get to the end.
Absolutely. That was one thing we were talking about, was definitely able to save the tires on those slow laps. You were able to save quite a bit of those tires, actually. Probably saved close to 10-15% just in that last stint itself.
Yeah, I think it's about. I think those 2 caution laps gives you an extra green flag lap. So 2 cautions gave me an extra 2 laps.
2 caution. Interesting.
Absolutely.
So, how were you able to make your soft tires last no less than 2, sometimes 3 laps longer than anybody else that was running the soft? What were you doing specifically that was able to manifest that?
I noticed I was backing my corners up a lot more than everybody else. Everyone else was really charging into the corners. I was braking before them and then getting the run off the corners. I was trying to let the car do the work on the straightaways and then just save the tires in the corners.
Interesting. Slow and fast out sort of situation.
Right.
Got it. Yeah, because we would be watching you battling with Mullet, battling with Gav, and even if whenever you guys would pit around the same time, Mullet would dive in first, Gav was right behind him, and then you were staying out sometimes, again, almost 2 laps longer. So congratulations on being able to hold on to the tires like that. I mean, between your driving, between the tune that you were able to put together, and the consistency that you were able to have, I mean, kudos.
Yeah, that I was questioning that last. I guess it was the second question or second caution. Whenever Gav and Mullet dove onto the pits, I was like,
Yeah.
I hope this is the right call. But luckily, I knew, having restarted the first caution in 8th, that traffic was a little bit of a factor, so I knew they had to get through the traffic, and luckily traffic held them up a little bit.
Made it. I wanted to ask, you're one of the people that whenever you find somebody that you can work with on the oval tracks, you do. Did you have that opportunity today? Does this track facilitate working together at all, or is this a Lone Ranger sort of situation?
It's definitely a Lone Ranger.
Interesting.
I'm not sure what tires they had on the first stint, but I know Gav and Mikey, they were holding me up a little bit. I don't know if maybe they were on mediums, but yeah, I wasn't worried about trying to help them. I was trying to get out, use my softs to get a gap and just make distance.
Got it. Absolutely. Hold a 10-second lead within the first 15 laps of this race.
It was pretty obvious at that point that people needed to figure something out, or we knew who was going to be sitting on the podium. And even though people started to figure it out, still here.
Yeah, that guy that hates road courses and is retiring from them was running second, so maybe he should reconsider that.
You know, we were talking about that. And had Mikey not taken both of them out in the last corner, he might have been having a conversation with us in a little bit. But unfortunately, Mikey either got too greedy. I couldn't tell if Rick turned into him. It was an unfortunate happenstance for sure.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen in big-time auto racing, as they say. So I'm sure the marshals will take a look at it, see what needs to be done.
Indeed. Well, Wins, do you have anything to add?
I would just like to add that for everybody watching, that this driver, Mr. Jumping in the Fire, has had the most incredible turnaround I've ever seen out of a driver so far. He's gone.
I'm calling you
He
out.
went
All the pre-race show, and you said I don't think he has a shot to win, but
I did guarantee in my mind you were guaranteed at least top 5 tonight. But from what we saw, round 1, Daytona, was not the greatest thing that we've seen out of anybody.
Right.
For you to be able to turn from Daytona to Indy, the first Indy, to be able to have the tire strategy, to be able to handle this, and able to handle every other course that we've had since Sunset, it's been the greatest turnaround I've seen out of a driver in my commentating career.
Yeah, I've actually kind of relaxed and taken a step back. I kind of had a tendency to get too involved with practice and setups. I just kind of laid back and just been letting stuff happen how it happens.
Fair.
And honestly, look where it's brought you now. You're in championship contention.
Exactly.
You brought yourself even closer with Indy to be able to be ahead of everybody else, except Rick, but Rick's out of the question now. It's just you and Andy at this point.
Well, we got the Daytona's a wild card, so anything could happen there. And
Well, better have some of that meditation ready for that tire strategy because it's going to be a big player. It's going to be an absolute. It's going to be an absolute monstrosity.
Well, I think if there's anything that we can learn from Jumpin' today is sometimes you just need to sit back, sip the Marios, and let the chips fall where they may.
that's right.
Absolutely.
Well, Jumpin', thank you so much. Congratulations on being able to hold that Mario's Hard Espresso bottle the highest this weekend. We look forward to what you bring to us in the coming championship runs.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Mario's for sponsoring us, and hope to be talking to you again soon.
Thanks to VRA. Thank you, Jumpin'.
Alrighty. He is so wholehearted and so truthful with his statements. There's no reason why people shouldn't like him.
It's really tough not to like the person who generally has the tune available for the person that wins the race. I mean,
Exactly.
even though Jumpin' isn't always on the board, always on the box, he's always on the box.
Absolutely. He was fastest in practice. He was second fastest in qualifying. But, I mean, he's last season's champ.
Speaking of second fastest in qualifying, first fastest in qualifying was Mullet, who took second today in his debut race. Am I misspeaking in that?
Nah, we have him live here, Mr. Mullet. This is Keith and Wind in the booth. P2 for you tonight. How are you feeling about that?
You know, I'm feeling pretty great about it. My first race in the series, and I go out, finish second. Started on pole, and first caution came out like after I already was on the mediums, and had to go through the field a little bit at the end there, but came back to finish second after battling with Gav at the end there. So it was a fun race.
Had you talked
great.
pit strategy going into this race with Jumpin'? Just out of curiosity, did that conversation
No.
happen at all? So
Nope,
you're not
not at
aware
all.
that you guys were on a very similar pit strategy throughout the entire race?
Not at all.
Interesting. I wanted to ask why you chose to pit so much earlier, because there was a couple of times where you and Jumpin' would have, I mean, within a lap that you'd come out of the pits together, and you would dive in sometimes 2 to 3 laps ahead of Jumpin' to be able to get fresher tires. What were you thinking there? What was going on in your mind with that?
Well, I will say after practice and qualifying a little bit there, my right front on softs would die really quick. And whenever I'd try to go in the lap I hit moderate. If not, I'll hit moderate off of 7 and then I'll dive in. I know you can run through moderate a little bit, but
But you
I just
chose
wanted
not
to be on
to.
the safe side.
Dang
Yeah,
it.
the car would not handle and drive the way I needed it to, so I had to dive in that lap or two early
Got
compared
it.
to jumping.
What tune were you running? Was this one of your own tunes? Was it somebody else's?
No, this is my tune. Spent all day in practice working on it. Got it figured out. Got it hooked up.
Well, I mean, you figured something out because you were only 5/10 of a second off of Jumpin, who, I mean, I'm sure you're aware, Jumpin's one of the main tuners here in the VRA, and to dial your setup in to be within 5/10 of a second is more than I can say for about 60% of the field. So kudos on that. Fantastic. What do you feel are some of the keys to this track that you hadn't expected?
I will say that whenever you're tucked behind somebody coming off a three and you're going down a back stretch, the amount of handling we all had while in the draft or dirty air going into the S's, that surprised me whenever I was able to move around as much as I could behind somebody.
Interesting. So you felt you almost had better handling whenever you were behind somebody.
Yes, yep.
Wow.
And
Okay.
that's why I was able to, at the end there passing Rick, I was able to get tucked up behind him and got underneath him and off a 7 because of that.
All right. Wins. What do you have to add?
I mean, for a debut race, absolute show put on for everybody here. You ran a great race. You had a great battle with Gav at the end. You were holding your line with jumping and qualifying in practice. You got pole in qualifying. That's points for you. You get big amount of points for being on the podium. You did a hell of a job tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, I was one of the early events in the week when I'd won that race with like half the field in there, and I couldn't get that tune again, and had to figure it out start from scratch this morning. So
Rough. Well,
in the end, it worked out. So
no kidding. Yeah, man. I was really curious how it was going to play out because I was seeing the slight difference in pit strategy, and it seemed as though you were trying to stay in the good meat of the tires, where Jumpin was trying to use as much tire as he could to be able to use to get the fewest pit stops. And I was really curious who was going to come out on top. And between the two of you, I think if you would have had a couple more laps, your cycle might have actually taken you to the win there.
yeah, that's one thing. It's caution didn't fall at the right time after the. Or I won't say that. I'll say I took whenever I pit for mediums, and then a couple laps later the caution came out. Uh, that set me behind, and then we had that the restart, the turn one or turn one two incident.
Yeah.
Able to get through that, gain a bunch of spots back, and then at the end of the race, I got cleared of Rick and was 4.5 seconds back for to go.
Yeah. Well, I again with just echoing what Wynn said. Fantastic debut race. Welcome to the Mario's HARD ESPRESSO series. With that, unless you have anything else to add, Wins, I think we'll bid you adieu.
I think we are good. We
And-
appreciate your time, Mr. Mullet.
All right, thank you guys. Hell of a race.
I completely agree.
All right. Well, next person, I believe, will be P3,
Yeah.
Mr. X Gavinator. Let's go ahead and get him in here. Mr. Gavinator, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. I feel great after that one. So far, it's my best finish here in VRA, across
Congratulations.
Cup and Mario's. Um, so I started off on mediums. We had that caution, and switched softs the rest of the way.
Was that your plan from the beginning?
Well, I was thinking about doing what Jump In did and do softs and pit twice,
Mm-hmm.
but I was not able to have the tire wear towards the end. I felt like I was a couple laps short to make that happen. So to be safe and to anticipate us going caution free or have way less cautions, which ends up not happening, I started off with mediums. Then we had that caution around lap 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, this is a good time to switch to softs and see what happens from there.
And you stuck with softs for the rest of the race.
Yeah, luckily, well, took softs after that. I pitted around lap 31 and took mediums at that point. I was in the lead, apart from Rick being up there who had yet to pit around lap 34, 35. Had a 2-second gap on Mullet and Jump In. Then we had that caution come out.
Yeah.
So after that, I was just like, we're set for softs. We're just going to roll to the end and hope I got a good finish.
Well, and you did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a battle that was happening between you, Andy, Mikey, and Rick for the last, 10 laps of the race?
Yes.
And, I mean, it really looked like Andy and Rick were going to be in it. Mikey and Rick got around Andy, and then it looked like, to me, Mikey took Rick out right in front of you. Is that how it happened?
Well, no, that happened behind me on the last lap.
Got it.
I think it was about within 5 laps to go. I was behind Mullet, Rick, and Andy. I was in 5th. Rick and Andy were getting into each other. They sent each other wide going into turn 1, which made me go around both of them and put me in the 3rd spot. I was running down Mullet and was trying to get around him, but he made it tough on me. And on turn 1, coming towards to the white flag. Really hoping I got 2nd. But I'm just still happy to got 3rd.
Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, congratulations, dude. Taking that Camaro and running it through the field. I mean, wins. What do you have, Dad?
I would like to add something that we did not discuss before the beginning of this race. I do believe that that is the 5th top 10 in a row, if I'm correct, Gav.
I believe, well, I think I've gotten a top 10 for every race that I've competed except for our recent Friday night race at, what was it? It was Indy, which is unfortunate because I was running up front there and was looking at least top 5, top 10, but I ended up being on the wrong strategy, being on softs and mediums to everybody, so I ended up getting 12th. So, yeah, there should be, I'll have to check results and stuff after this interview, but there should be a 5th or 6th consecutive top 10, and I really wish I was here for the first race at Daytona, because if I was, I would probably be up there for the championship battle. But
You'd have the whole season on lock right now, because you've been
yeah,
the most consistent driver the whole season.
yes, I've luckily haven't had any crashes or DNS or any unfortunate series of events happen towards the end of races. I've been trying to keep it as clean as possible throughout the whole season with everybody, and I'm very proud and happy to be here with all these guys and running well with them.
Absolutely.
Couldn't agree more.
Is there anything else that you would like to add to your own great performance tonight?
Um, well, all I can say is I'm proud of myself for keeping the car straight, not spinning it out. I had a big moment. I think I don't remember what lap it was. It was around lap 20, I want to say. I was ahead of Mullet. I kind of got out of shape in turn 3. I went over that curbing on the outside with both my rear tires, which upset my entire car. Hit the inside wall. Luckily, no damage in this series, but just glad I didn't spin out. Kept the car straight enough, kept it going, and other than that, shout out to Jump In on the win. He was really, really fast and was the guy to beat tonight. And also shout out to Mullet for getting second place in his very first BRA race. Very proud of him.
100%. Well,
Absolutely.
I mean, with that, Gav, congratulations on getting yourself onto the box this weekend. We look forward to seeing what you can do, being consistent with the last couple of races for the season.
Yes, thank you guys. I'm very happy to be here, very grateful. It's an honor, and happy to get my first podium, and I appreciate you guys having me.
Rad. Thanks so much, dude.
Absolutely. All right. One thing I would like to mention before we go. Our hard charger, Mr. Skins, has informed me he is not doing an interview.
Okay.
Dear God, I hope it's because he doesn't want to get embarrassed.
There's a lot that I wanted to talk to Skins about. Just to hear his side of things.
He has left us a comment saying he ran out of time. He's heading back to his truck. Interview is looking forward to Daytona and Miami. So that's what you can expect. Our hard charger, who might not be our hard charger at the end of this, depending on points, is looking forward to Daytona and Miami. That's all we're getting out of him.
All right.
And also, one more thing before we go. We have already... I need to check very quick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We currently have 6 different scenes of wrecks or collisions under review currently. One of them being the Mikey and Rick incident, and also the NASCAR baby and Skins incident.
I feel like we're going to see Skins in the marshalling quite a bit.
I have a feeling some people are going to be out of contention this week.
Completely agree. Well, I guess with that, dude, I just wanted to take a second and say thanks so much for sitting under the cherry blossoms and sipping some Marios with me. I mean, and watching this fantastic race with some of our favorite people.
Absolutely. It's a great day. Well, it wasn't a great day. It was a great night, a great midnight to sit under some nice cherry blossoms, have some nice Mario's Hard Espresso, and have some sushi while I was at it. Had some sushi up in the booth. It was banging.
You can't go to Hakone without getting sushi. You're going to spend a lot of money, but you have
100%.
to. You have to. Well, I mean, I have nothing to add. Fantastic race. Fantastic
I don't
people.
either. It was a great
Fantastic
race.
cherry blossoms. Mario's
Fantastic
Hard Espresso.
alcohol.
With that, konnichiwa, my guy.
Konnichiwa! Thank you all for watching Round 7 of the Mario's Hard Espresso series, brought to you by VRA. This has been your commentator, X-Wimdy, here with my man Keith the Jones 430. We'll see y'all later, but not too much later. We'll see y'all at Daytona on April 20th for the second to last round of the Mario's Hard Espresso series. Things are getting wild. We'll talk to y'all then. Peace.